Okay, so imagine this for a moment. You wake up tomorrow, you look up at the sky, and something feels off. Not the shape of the sun, not its size, just its color. And that tiny change would be enough to transform everything you know about life on Earth. Because here's something most people were never really told: the sun isn't yellow, it's not even just white. In reality, it's all colors at once. Every wavelength, every tone, blended together into something our eyes interpret as a single source of light. But here's where things get interesting. What if that changed? What if the sun had only one color: red, blue, green, or none at all? Because even though it sounds like science fiction, changing just that one detail would reshape the entire planet, and some of those versions don't end well. Number 10. The real color of the sun. Before imagining extreme scenarios, we need to understand one thing. The sun emits the full spectrum of visible light. When all those colors combine, the result is white. That's its true color. So why do we see it as yellow? Because of Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere scatters shorter wavelengths, especially blue light. This phenomenon is known as Rayleigh scattering. It's the reason the sky looks blue, sunsets look red, and the sun appears yellowish from the ground. But if you stepped outside the atmosphere, into space, you would see it as it really is: a pure white star. And even that small realization already changes how we picture it. Number 9. If the sun were red. Now, imagine this: a red sun. At first, it might sound beautiful: a permanent sunset, a world painted in deep, warm tones. You wake up and everything feels softer, darker, almost calm. But this isn't just an aesthetic change. It's a warning. Because in the future, the sun actually will turn red. It will become a red giant. And when that happens, it won't just change color, it will expand, engulfing the inner planets, or at least stripping them of any chance of sustaining life. Temperatures will rise, oceans will evaporate, the atmosphere will disappear. So a red sun isn't just a different sky, it's the beginning of the end. Number 8. If the sun were green. This is where things get strange. Technically, the sun already peaks in green wavelengths, but we don't see it that way because all colors blend together. Now, imagine that balance breaking. Only green light. No reds, no blues. Everything would take on a green tint. But not in a natural way. In a way that feels wrong. Skin tones would look unnatural. The sky would lose depth. Shadows would feel distorted. And more importantly, it would feel darker. Because human vision isn't designed for a monochromatic world. We rely on contrast, on variation. Remove that, and reality itself starts to feel artificial, not beautiful, uncanny. Number 7. If the sun were blue. Now let's break a common misconception. In space, blue doesn't mean cold, it means extreme heat. Blue stars are the hottest stars in the universe, so if the sun suddenly became blue, everything changes. Radiation levels would skyrocket, surface temperatures would rise dramatically, the atmosphere would struggle to protect life. Most life forms wouldn't survive. But here's the unsettling part. Visually, it might not look that different. The sky would still appear blue, the world would still feel familiar, at least at first, which makes it even more dangerous because it's the kind of change you don't notice until it's too late. Number 6. If the sun disappeared. Now imagine something far more extreme. The sun doesn't explode, it doesn't dim, it just disappears. Instantly. Within seconds, the sky goes dark. No daylight, no visible moon, only distant stars. Then reality begins to collapse. Within weeks, temperatures drop below survivable levels. Within months, most surface life is gone. Within a year, Earth approaches temperatures near absolute zero. But here's something most people don't realize. Not everything would die immediately. Deep in the oceans, near hydrothermal vents, life could continue, independent of sunlight. And humans, we would face a choice: adapt or disappear, go underground, go underwater, or vanish with the surface world. Number 5. The sun is already dangerous. Now, let's return to reality. Because we don't need extreme scenarios to find danger. The sun already has cycles. Roughly every 11 years, its activity increases. More sunspots, more eruptions, more energy released. These are called solar storms, and they can affect satellites, GPS systems, power grids, global communications. In 1869, the Carrington event caused telegraph systems to fail across the world. Operators reported sparks, fires, even electric shocks. And today, we're far more dependent on technology. A similar event now could disrupt entire infrastructures, maybe even globally. Number 4. What if we had more than one sun? Now, take it further. What if Earth had 2 suns? Or 3? It sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Many star systems contain multiple stars. The problem is stability. Gravity becomes unpredictable. Orbits shift. Climates fluctuate. Seasons lose consistency. In some cases, there is no true night. In others, the planet gets ejected into space, or worse, pulled into one of the stars. The balance we experience here is incredibly fragile and incredibly rare. Number 3, the perfect balance. The sun's color, its energy output, its distance from Earth, everything is precisely balanced. Change one variable, just slightly, and the system collapses. Too much energy? The oceans boil. Too little? They freeze. Too close? Radiation becomes lethal. Too far? Life can't sustain itself. This balance is what allows life to exist, not just the presence of a star, but the right kind of star. Number 2, light defines reality. Everything you see depends on light. Color isn't an inherent property. It's an interpretation. Your brain reconstructs reality based on the wavelengths it receives. Change the light, and you change perception itself. A red world feels different. A green world feels unnatural. A blue world feels deceptive. Same planet, same objects, different reality. Because what you see isn't the world, it's how your brain interprets it. Number 1, a single change, total collapse. And here's the final idea. All of this comes from changing just one thing. Not the size of the sun, not its position, just its color. But that change implies deeper transformations: temperature, radiation, energy distribution. Which means there's no such thing as a harmless change. In a system this complex, everything is connected. Everything matters. And the sun, something that feels constant, ordinary, predictable, is actually the reason everything works at all. Change it, and everything changes with it. So now the question isn't just scientific, it's personal. Which version of this world would you choose? A red sky? A green reality? A blue illusion? Or a world where the sun is gone? And remember, the universe doesn't reveal its secrets to those who rush. It reveals them to those who know how to look. Subscribe and keep listening to the silence.